Hey guys, we're GEST and we're super excited to present to you our start to finish course with D&B Academy, where we'll give you an extensive insight into how we make our music.
The course will be a full 5 hours long and will cover every aspect of how we make a track from start to finish.
The topics we'll be covering will be creating drums, synth sound design, composition and arrangement, how we incorporate our analog hardware and modular synths, mixing and mastering. And of course, all the files from the course will be included.
We're super excited to bring this to you and hope you enjoy it. Head to dnbacademy.net or find the link from our bio.
Got a bassline groove, it's kind of rolling, and I think it's time to add in some chords. I'm a big fan of dub techno, love to add some dub techno chords. Just think they sound pretty classy, add a real nice flavour to the track. So let me show you how I created these chords. This time I'm going to use Vital, just to switch it up. Sometimes I'd use my hardware, but in this case I'm going to use Vital to pretty much get the very similar results. So first of all, let's take a look at the MIDI information here, and I just created a really basic chord hitting just before the snare. And then what we'll do is reverse engineer the Vital patch so I can show you guys how we created it. Cool. So let me just play this as it is. Basic chord, not particularly exciting at the moment, but let's see what we did. So let's open up Vital, which is a wicked synth. I love this. I used this loads recently. I think I even prefer it to Serum, you know. Anyway, here's a patch. So it's literally just a sawtooth wave with one oscillator, just playing the chord at the moment. Next up, we'll add in some noise. Bring the level down, otherwise by default it's like really, really loud. Aggy noise, but you just want that little fizz on top. Next up, I added a low pass filter at 12 dB per octave, which actually just filters right down. But we're going to add an envelope in a second, so it opens up when the note hits. So on envelope 2, I added this modulation to the filter cutoff. Let me just oh, there we go. Now the reason that wasn't playing before is I'd actually added an LFO to the amount, which you'll see in a moment, but I'm just moving the cutoff amount up and down. You can see the filter opening, creating that sort of dubby sound. And the envelope itself, no sustain with a short decay, which is also modulated with an LFO, which I'll show you in a second. So let's just turn on the second filter, which is bandpass. I actually blended it a little bit, otherwise it just cuts out too many frequencies. So I've added a little blend there. Now, it's a really basic patch, and there's a modulation which I'll show you in a second, but the real beauty of this patch, the real beauty of dub techno chords is in the effects. So I'm just going to send this to my ping pong delay. And instantly loads of character. So let's take a look at the ping pong delay itself really quickly. So Valhalla, oh that should actually be all the way wet, my bad. There we go. It's set as a ping pong mode, and it's set as the tape algorithm. And then on the ping pong, I've got the left delay set to 1/8 note and the right delay set to 1/8 dotted note, so they move left and right in a different pattern. Feedback about 70. You know, you can turn it up really high and get some very cool effects. You know, even like resampling that, which I may do later, is really cool. But I don't want it to get too mad, so around about 75 will do. Added a little bit of drive to the delay as well. And then on the EQ setting, make sure nothing below 190 Hz goes through the delay, and also I actually cut the highs off because I just felt like it sits better in the mix that way. Got a bit of wow and flutter as well, make it sound kind of old school and analog. And I'll tweak this as we go, but that's the kind of setup I want for my dub techno chords. And then of course some reverb to put it in a space. All the way wet. I might add a bit more decay. And then a similar EQ setup here. Nothing below 100 Hz is getting through. I also brought up the high shelf as well, otherwise it just sounds a little bit too dull on the vintage setting. Sorry, the 1970s algorithm. Anyway, back to the Vital patch. I'm going to re-enable my modulation now. So if I unbypass this guy, that is modulating the filter envelope decay. So it means it's different every time, ever so slightly. This guy here, we'll re-enable as well. This guy's going to the filter cutoff as well. That's the second filter, sorry, the bandpass filter. And that's what really gives it a character. I've got most of the LFOs set to seconds rather than syncing to the BPM of the track, which I think is just way more interesting. I want it to be more random and different every time. But yeah, that's how the Dub Techno Chord patch is set up. And that patch will be included with the project as well, so you can tweak that to your heart's content. But I think from experience, making these patches, keeping it as simple as possible and just modulating the different parameters is really the key for these sounds. I used to make them really complicated with multiple oscillators. It just gets a bit too messy. But you know, hey, it's up to you. Quite often as well, you know, maybe I'll modulate the attack time. It's up to you. But I'm pretty happy with that. And next up, I think we should look at some effects and some risers and some noise, just to flesh out as many elements as we can and then move on to the arrangement. Hey guys, we're GEST and we're super excited to present to you our start to finish course with D&B Academy, where we'll give you an extensive insight into how we make our music.
The course will be a full 5 hours long and will cover every aspect of how we make a track from start to finish.
The topics we'll be covering will be creating drums, synth sound design, composition and arrangement, how we incorporate our analog hardware and modular synths, mixing and mastering. And of course, all the files from the course will be included.
We're super excited to bring this to you and hope you enjoy it. Head to dnbacademy.net or find the link from our bio.